Last season, I moved to England to help Graham Potter bring Leicester City back to the Premier League. But after realizing my physicality was holding me back, I had to improve, and I trained hard for months to get faster, stronger, and more fit. And finally, I became a starter in the team as we got promoted up to the Premier League. But the truth is that I was overtraining, and now an injury to my hamstring is gonna keep me out for 4 months. I'm gonna miss the start of the season, and with Leicester City back in the Premier League, I have to return to fitness fast if I want to regain my spot. I'm far from the first name on the team sheet, and up here in the Premier League, there's only room for the best of the best. And now that Leicester City have big money to spend, they make the decision to bring in a new central midfielder this summer for some competition. Promising Real Madrid midfielder Nico Paz is on the market with a tempting release clause, and Leicester City secure his signing with the promise of a starting spot. Now, he's a steal because at only $16 million, Leicester City now have a huge talent, and the club knows it because Paz becomes our highest paid player, and it looks like he might be the new future of the club. So as I come back from injury, it's clear there's a tough road ahead because now there's competition for my spot in midfield. This squad is going to be harder than ever for me to find minutes in, and the sad truth is I've declined a bit, being injured for the past 4 months. I'm going to miss our first few games, but even when I'm back, where am I going to fit in? I'm probably our 4th choice center mid. That means I probably won't even have a spot on the bench. But ready or not, the Premier League is starting without me in the team. We've got big new signings like Nico Paz, but our whole midfield is stacked with good players to make up a team that looks very capable of staying in the Premier League this season. So as I watch on from the sidelines, the truth is I'm starting to get nervous because Nico Paz has an unbelievable debut, scoring to pull Leicester City in front. And as we get off to a flying start, again, it's unclear how I'm gonna fit back into this team, even when I return from injury. And as the games roll on, I'm still unfit to play, and that means I'm increasingly becoming a forgotten figure here at Leicester City. We've had a bright start to the season without me playing any part at all, but our performances against the big teams have been really poor, and that does give me a little bit of hope that if we're not the finished team just yet, maybe I can find a role to play. And it's good news, I'm finally back from injury after our first few games. However, I've fallen down the pecking order massively, and I'm coming back into a team that doesn't really have a spot for me anymore. I've basically been replaced by the younger and better Nico Paz, as well as the rest of our midfield players, and although Leicester City are far from the best team in the Premier League, if I want to get any kind of reliable minutes, I need to prove what I can offer to this team that our existing midfield doesn't right now. As Leicester City battle on through a tough stretch of games, I'm watching on from the reserves and just wondering to myself, how can I get back into the team? But the season is flying by, 19 games in already, and Leicester are still towards the bottom of the table. We could use all the help we can get. But even though I've come back from injury, I've spent the last few months still sitting in the reserves, yet to make a single appearance for the team. I still have a long way to go to get anywhere near the first team. Between the new signings, my injury, and the step up to the Premier League, I have a lot of work to do to make my way back into this team. But although it's taken a few more weeks, I am getting back to my pre-injury levels of fitness, and I was a good player for Leicester last season. Maybe I'll be able to show it, and I finally get my breakthrough opportunity, as some fatigue in the squad means I'm gonna get a spot on the bench for our next game in the Premier League. This is a huge moment for me. It's my first chance to make an appearance in the Premier League, so I watch on from the bench as the players ahead of me are having a really good game right now. Nico Paz continues to be our talisman in midfield, and Leicester City quickly take the lead. The question for me now is, am I going to be able to feature at all in this game? Well, I get my lucky break, if you want to call it that, as Gus Till picks up a yellow card in the second half, and I'm the man to come on and replace him. This is the biggest moment of my entire career. It's all led up to this as I make my debut here in the Premier League. But coming on as a substitute to cover a player on a yellow with only a few minutes remaining in the game is not exactly the glorious kind of debut I would have dreamt of in my head, as Leicester City have an incredibly tactical ending to this game. Although we do get the victory, it has me seriously questioning, do I actually have any kind of future here at Leicester City? Well, I have a decision to make. It's January, and I could request a move away, and hope that I can get playing time either on loan or a permanent transfer somewhere else. But we've only just gotten to the Premier League. Would it be foolish to move away? Well, before I make any decisions, there's one game that could shape the course of my season. Because the FA Cup is kicking off, I'm finally making a return to the starting 11, and this is my chance to show I still have what it takes to fight for a spot here. So after 10 months without a start for Leicester City, I finally am back in the starting 11 for our FA Cup match. And after I've fallen out of favor following that injury last season, this could realistically be my only chance this season to make some kind of impression. If I can't prove in this game why I should be getting more minutes, I think it's sensible for me to leave this January. So I have to make every single pass count here, and so far, I'm absolutely running midfield. Although Leicester City are struggling to make the most of our chances, I am doing my part. It just hasn't quite fallen my way in terms of goals or assists yet. But it's not for a lack of trying. I'm giving it everything I've got to stand out in this game, and I do think I've made a positive impression. I'm starting to look like the player I was for Leicester at the end of last season, and all that hard work I did on my fitness last year has carried over. Even though I spent a long time injured, it doesn't really look like I've missed a step. But it's far from a 10 out of 10 performance, as Leicester City are still empty-handed with any goals, and as the game drags on, we eventually see ourselves concede late in the game to blow our chances at the FA Cup against Blackburn. It's a big upset, and that's not exactly going to help my case to get more minutes. Well, we're halfway through January. I gotta make up my mind soon. Should I stay and fight for a spot, or should I leave in search of more minutes? Because at the moment, things are not exactly looking great. Maybe it's best if I go. Well, I'm thinking about giving up on the Premier League. My old best friend Jalen Davis is making a huge move to play for Italian giants Juventus. And just like that, he's living the dream that I always hoped we could do together as kids, being USA superstars abroad for some of the biggest teams in Europe. But right now, Jalen is making that happen while I'm struggling to even make it at a mid-table team in the Premier League. Maybe this is the motivation I need, because I've been running my whole career. I left Austin FC to try to get playing time at Schalke, and even after succeeding there, financial troubles meant I had to leave again. And now with the chance at Leicester City to play in the Premier League, I've made up my mind. I'm staying put, and I'm gonna fight with everything I've got to make it at this club. I'm staying to fight for a position here at Leicester City. But right now, I'm still not even really close to the bench. I have so much work to do to get into this team, but Leicester City do have plenty of room for improvement. So if I can actually show myself to have the qualities that can help this team, surely I will have a chance to get a spot. But what can I do to stand out and be a unique player in this team? Well, for my entire career, I've found a way to rise to the occasion. All the way back in high school, it was by learning long ball passing, and in college, mastering a power shot from distance made me an even bigger threat. Then I worked on my mental game, learning teamwork at Loudoun United and how to deal with the pressures of being a star at Schalke. And finally last season, I worked on my fitness to become the best version of myself, but I'm still young and I have to evolve again. What can I add to my game now? Leicester City have had great players this season, but it's been clear we have no dedicated set-piece takers. We've had zero luck on free kicks, corners, or even penalties all season, and we've been constantly rotating who is responsible for taking these chances, and so far, we have yet to convert anything. And honestly, I feel like this is where I can help the team. Striking a ball is my specialty, and even as far back as Schalke, I was the dedicated corner kick taker. But up here in the Premier League, it's not gonna be that easy. I have to develop my skills a lot if I want to be considered a set-piece specialist. So this is my new goal. I'm going to focus on training my dead ball abilities every day here in training and prove to Schalke that I can offer something our other midfielders can't. Now it's going to take time to grow, but while I'm here in the reserves, I got nothing but free time. And just like I've done before, I'm working towards developing a new trait, but progress is slow. This is hard to master. Is it going to work, or am I destined to fail here in the Premier League? Well, Leicester City have done pretty well, but we're far from being safe already. Maybe I'll have a role to play in this team after all. But it's hard for me to get a chance because, like has been the case all season, our midfielders are some of the best players in the team. Nico Paz continues to shine, and Leicester City do right the ship and get back to winning ways. They're doing just fine without me. So as I remain in the reserves, I just focus on training patiently so I can be ready when called upon. I made the decision to stay, so for now I watch on from the sidelines as we win yet again. And all the while in the background, I continue training super hard to make sure that I'll have the skill set necessary when I do get a breakthrough in this team. But right now, what's it gonna take for me to actually get an opportunity to play at all? Well, sometimes you just need a lucky break, and it looks like I might get that because Dennis Pratt decides he's leaving at the end of the season. And for me, this is good news because the two of us have been competing for that spot on the bench all season. And if he's not sticking around, the coach has decided I'm moving up in the pecking order, and now it's my spot to lose here on the bench for Leicester City. And just like that, everything might be falling into place. I'm still a far cry from the starting 11, but at least this is progress. I'm on the bench against Liverpool, and considering where I started this season, this is a really big deal for me. But until I develop more and start to build a reputation here, especially in these big games, it's looking pretty unlikely that I'll get any minutes, even though I'm on the bench. And despite Leicester City needing a goal in this game, that's exactly what happens. As we end up losing, I'm not even called upon to help. So I have to be patient and just wait for my chances to come and believe all the hard work that I've done this season will pay off when I do get the opportunity. Even though the other players in the team are the ones continuing to steal headlines and our good performances, I know deep down in my heart that I have what it takes to be a player among them. And I do get my chance eventually, as our star player, Nico Paz, is rested late in this game, which gives me the opportunity to come on and once again have a chance to impact the game as a substitute. And hopefully this time, it'll be better than what I was able to pull off earlier in the season. I've been training so hard, and surely I'm a better player now than ever. But can I actually show it? Well, I get the perfect opportunity here with a long-distance free kick I've been practicing all season long. Now, can I show off my new skills? No, it's a hugely disappointing effort, and it's a harsh reminder for me I'm still a long way off of mastering this new skill. It's a bit embarrassing, but I'm just gonna have to rely on my other skills until I'm really ready to prove that I can be a reliable set-piece taker in games. And I almost pick up an assist with a great ball over the top, but it's not finished. I'm having some flashes of good play, but it's not enough to really stand out just yet. As another performance of mine kinda goes under the radar, I'm still not close to the first team. So it's clear the key for me this season is going to be slow but steady growth. I'm working every day in training on my set piece technique, and it's coming fairly naturally to me. As a player who's always had an eye for a long pass or shot, the ability to strike the ball is translating well, but this won't be an overnight success. Slowly but surely, my attributes are going up and I'm becoming a better free kick taker, but for me to really master this skill, it's just gonna take a lot of time. Now with only 10 games remaining in the season, Leicester City are roughly mid-table, but I have one thing going for me. Being on the bench means any kind of fatigue will have me be next in line, and now I have a massive opportunity. For my first start in the Premier League, I have to make this one count. I risked everything to stay with Leicester City this season, and now it seems like that decision might be paying off. I think everyone sees the hard work I'm doing in training and the potential that I do have in me, as I have a couple really good chances already in this game. It hasn't quite come off for me yet this season, but there's been a couple flashes of brilliance in my cameos so far, and there's a feeling that if I can just get some more regular minutes under my belt, maybe, just maybe, I can be an important player here. As Leicester City takes the lead, I don't necessarily get an assist, but I was key in the build-up there, and I definitely am slowly working my way back into favor in this side. But although I am slowly heading in the right direction, it's been a disappointing season. With only 6 appearances, I'm desperate to get more of a chance here at the end of this season. And I know that my ticket to success is set pieces. It's an area the team is still struggling massively with, and the coach has taken note of my development in this area as I'm put on corner kick duty in training. I'm earning myself a reputation on the training ground. Now I just need to translate that into games as I inch closer to earning the title of set piece specialist. And as I continue to do well on the training ground, I'm given more minutes in games, and now it's time to put all the pieces of my skill set together. The physicality I worked so hard to develop last season is carrying over, and I'm settling in well to the Premier League and linking up well with our other top players like Nico Paz. And despite the slow start to this season, it feels like things have finally turned a corner, and I'm putting in maybe my best performance yet in a Leicester City shirt here in the Premier League as I pick up my first assist of the season. It's a big milestone for me, and now as everything comes together, the only part of my game that's missing are the free kicks I've worked on this season. But I'm still training as hard as ever, and with every single passing training session, I can feel it paying off. And eventually, something just clicks in training. As I add yet another core skill to my game, I've developed a lot this season, and finally, I've earned myself the new title of Dead Ball Specialist. which means I can lead the team on the pitch from set pieces, which is what we've been missing. This is what I've been working towards. Now it's time to put it into action. And now, with the season winding down and 8 games left, can I put it all together and prove why I deserve more minutes in this team? With a tense game winding down, in need of a goal, Leicester City pick up a free kick just outside the 18-yard box, and as our new set-piece specialist, I am brought on to try to make the difference late here in the game. This is the kind of opportunity I've been working towards all season. I've had some solid performances, but I haven't had my single breakout moment yet this season, and this could be it. I've practiced this kind of free kick thousands of times this season. Now can I do it in a game? No, it's saved by the goalkeeper. Was all this work for nothing? But free kicks aren't the only thing I've been practicing this season. All kinds of set pieces are now part of my new skill set, and we have a chance here to take the final corner kick of the game and maybe put Leicester City in front. It's down to my delivery. Now can I put the ball into a dangerous area? Ball whipped into the box, and it's headed into the back of the net. Leicester City with the dramatic late winner, and finally I was able to have a key role in a team's victory this season. I worked so hard all year to practice my set-piece abilities, and today it finally paid off. But having one good game isn't going to earn me a starting spot in the team, and I'm still on the bench for most of these matches. However, without me on the pitch, one thing is very clear. Leicester City still have a distinct lack of any players capable of convincingly taking set pieces, and as we blow a penalty against Aston Villa, they could have used me there. I think the coach is realizing we need somebody capable of taking these dead balls in the team, and I start the next game against West Ham because of this, and now I have a huge opportunity, a free kick just outside the 18-yard box, and a chance to prove that the coach was right to start me in this game. Can I convert? Yes, it's my first goal for Leicester City in the Premier League, and what an important goal that is. It's a free kick that validates all the hard work I did to develop as a dead ball specialist this season. I saw what my team needed, and I made myself into that player, and now maybe on the back of these good performances, I'll start to play a more important role for Leicester City next season. And even though I'm still usually coming off the bench, I'm proving that I can be a trusted player in our midfield to link up well with the rest of the players in our team. Not only that, my eye for goal is finally starting to shine through as I score yet again for Leicester City. I'm getting better and better as the season goes on, and especially considering how awful things started, this is a dream end to the season for me. Now, I've seen some incredible growth this season, especially considering I spent more than half of the year not playing at all for Leicester City. And I'm really excited about what the future holds now. And with other good young central midfielders around me, maybe I can be a core piece of this team as we build for the future. And with only one game remaining in the season, I'm given one final opportunity. So in our final match, it's time to put everything from my skill set together. It's not just about the free kicks, it's about being a player who can do it all. As I try the old tricks, a shot from distance rockets off the crossbar. That was so close. I haven't quite had my moment in the Premier League with a shot like I had back in college or an amazing assist, but there are signs that it could be coming. Because those skills that I've honed over the years are still very much there, and I'm becoming a really trusted player in our midfield, playing good passes and balls through finally results in an assist. What a great end to the season I'm having as I pick up yet another goal contribution. But this game is not over yet, and I'm determined to leave a lasting mark to carry into next season. As I continue to get involved in the play, our wonder kid Nico Pas plays a ball over the top for me, and linking up with our best player can only be a positive as I score another goal to round out this season. Well, after what was a pretty terrible start to life here in the Premier League, I managed to salvage what ended up being a solid debut in England's top flight. But my work is far from done. In addition to more minutes with Leicester next season, I'm setting my targets back on the US national team. I still have yet to get a call-up when my old best friend Jalen Davis is becoming a star for our national team, and just like at club level, I want to prove that I'm just as capable as he is. As the rivalry between us heats up, what is going to happen next? And hey, if you've liked this series and you want to support the channel, subscribe to me at patreon.com/respectthejeff and get my career mode challenges guide to help you have this much fun in your own careers with unique storylines. Thanks for the support.